Detective Comics 949, James Tynion IV and Margaret Bennett. Writing and Ben Oliver on art. And the art was gorgeous again. I'll say that first.
Yeah.
I don't think there's anything new to say about the art compared to last time. It's just still gorgeous.
Yeah.
Some of the I think it's what I love most is he draws a really good Kate Kane facial expression. There's a couple of times it's in the flashback at the start where she's just about to like fight Batman and she sort of like has that she's like gnawing her teeth kind of face, and it just looks really good.
Let's do this face.
Yeah. And then the other one that I really like is after she uses the shotgun towards the end on the monster, and she's like, "Oh, you don't approve, Batman?" He's like, "No." He's like, "Yeah, I don't care." That pose with her with the shotgun over her shoulder, just kind of being like, my method.
Yep.
Words.
Well, I like that it's defining her as her own character. That's what this whole two-story arc was. She's not just one of Batman's sidekicks or partners. She is her own person, like independent. She was going to be Batwoman, independent of Batman when this all started.
And it sets up that she has this slightly different rule with guns. I mean, she's still clearly not a killer. She's not going to go around murdering people. But she's not against grabbing a shotgun and blasting it in a monster's face if that's the tool that's sitting around at the time.
She is more like in that they keep in this issue saying she's not a soldier, but she kind of is, where she will use what's available to her. She won't have that limit.
Well, I think the point though is that like for her father in the colony, she's not enough of a soldier. For Batman, she is more of a soldier compared to him. But the point kind of is that she is kind of on that line. She's right in between the two, where she is a Bat character in her morals and stuff, but she will use her other techniques. She's okay with shooting someone in the leg properly.
I took that she's not a soldier. She doesn't follow orders. She follows her own orders. And as a soldier, you can't have that. That was the whole point of what was his name, Colony Prime, coming. And even her dad's like, he never listened. You know, like he deserved what happened to him. So I like that she doesn't completely follow Batman's orders, but she doesn't follow the Colony's orders. She, Kate works for Kate.
Yeah, she's very independent.
Yeah.
And then she'll work in conjunction, I think, with either. And I think we'll start to see that in her own series is she, has this partnership with her dad, but also with Batman.
Well,
so
let's explain that a little bit. I think partnerships maybe selling it a little bit stronger than it's argued. It's more of a Silence of the Lambs-esque relationship.
Understanding.
Yeah, where he's still going to be behind a cell, but he's going to help her. And his one condition is that he wants to see her without the mask. He wants to see his daughter because she doesn't want to see him. She's like, don't care about you. You're awful.
Well, and I love that because he's at the end of the day he's really not the villain. The way he went about things was completely wrong and ended up in the storyline death of Robin or Red Robin, and but he's doing this because the League of Shadows threat is looming. And he wants to save the Earth, but not the way Batman would.
Yeah, I also think, obviously, we know we have the League of Shadows stuff coming up next, because I believe the next issue is the oversized prologue.
Yeah.
And I think it's interesting that he'll be around for that, so he'll be able to kind of gloat, but then be interrogated as well. They'll be around for the repercussions of what he was warning about.
Yep. Now, is Batwoman getting a rebirth?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. So this could have easily been the rebirth issue. It
actually does leave me a little concerned that the rebirth issue will feel a little wasted, like some of the others.
I actually don't think that. Do you know what it makes me think? It makes me think it's going to do the Green Arrow thing, where it's just going to be issue 1.
Yeah.
It probably will. I hope it does. But at that point, then I question, why not just start at 1?
Because it's the thing, they've been given rebirth issues to most of them.
Well, so I thought if they weren't doing a rebirth, this is the de facto rebirth, and
it's the same with JLA. I'm pretty sure the first one of that, it won't feel like a separate thing from the rest of the book. I mean, sure, it might be the forming the team issue, but that's still essentially just issue 1.
Or issue 0, if you will.
Yeah.
I don't think JLA is going to do the. Let's do issue 1 in the rebirth and then you know what I mean? Where that was de facto issue 1 and then issue 1 was issue 2. I think JLA you can pick up, let's say you don't get the rebirth, you'll be able to pick up JLA 1 and it's going to feel like issue 1. Whereas I think with like what Pete's saying with Batwoman, the rebirth's going to be issue 1 going forward.
I can see it happening with both. I think Batwoman's definitely more likely, but I can see it happening with both.
Batwoman's far more. I think I'm with Matt on JLA, where I feel like you say, it'll probably just be putting the team together, but that won't matter. If you just start at 1, you just go, okay, team's together, let's just go with it. You don't need to have read that.
Yep.
Oh, I see what you're saying, but I would still call that issue 1 though. I still think putting the team together is issue 1.
I have to make room now for a Batwoman book, because if this is the team working on it, and I really like these 2 issues, this is a book I have to read now.
Yeah, Tynion's sticking around for the first arc of Batwoman, and then Margaret's going off on her own for the rest.
Yeah, and I think I said it on the last issue. I'd love to know how much of this was Bennett and how much was Tynion. I mean, let's say the first arc, it's not going to make any difference, but in the long run, has Bennett got enough of a handle on Kate, or is it too much of Tynion?
Yeah, I think it feels different enough from what I've read from Tynion that it, could easily just be Bennett.
You can
by
feel
herself.
her influence.
Yeah.
Because obviously, again, they're both just listed as writers, so it's hard to tell how much is each of them.
But I feel we got the tease of her origin with her mom and sister dying, and then whatever happened. I remember reading those issues when Rucka was writing the character, and then J.H. Williams took over, and that was built in too. So, they have a foundation there, and that's the way they're going forward.
They have one of those Batwoman by Rucka trades, the thick, meaty ones I've been doing, coming out in the next couple of months. So I'm probably going to pick that up and get some background.
No, I really like this. I really like this two-parter. Like we said, I think it's Kate was already interesting, but I think it's set her up as her own thing, where she is still very much a back character. She's still going to be, the second co-lead of Detective Comics. She's still going to be around there, but it's going to have her go off and do her own personal journey, where she is dealing with her father to take down these more worldwide. It's kind of like how Nightwing went off to do his own thing, or he's doing his own thing in Bloodhaven, but he's still coming back to Gotham when Batman needs him because they're a family.
It does actually feel like all of Detective Comics up to this point has been leading to this, because that whole first arc kind of boiled down to her relationship with her father.
Yep.
And then obviously we got the Monster Men stuff, which is starting to play into it as well.
Yep. Well, it's just well-formed comics. It
is.
You'll be able to look at it and goes, oh, that's Tynion's run from start to finish. Because of all
there's clear. Sometimes there's writers that you look at it and go, they're kind of just going arc by arc and taking it as it comes. I mean, I know for a fact Snyder speaks how he did that for Batman. He went, right, what story have I got next? Whereas this feels like, no, this is one long story, and it's been planned out in advance.
And I always prefer that when it comes to comics, because they're episodic in one place to the other. And I remember the first time I read that was in Johns' Flash, where someone had come back. I think it was Pied Piper. You hadn't seen him in forever, and that story continued on throughout. And I was just like, oh wow, comics can do this. So, and now we have this, and I am really enjoying it, which is so weird because I wasn't down with the Batwoman book. I was just like, oh, that's a book. Maybe I'll read the Rebirth and then not go forward. But after these 2 issues, I'm really invested to see where the character goes.
Good issue, Detective, though. I liked it a lot.
Yes, very good.
All right.
The blacks and the reds, those colors pop so well.
Yeah, it's even down to the cover there. Like even Batman, where the red stands out on him.
Do you know what I like about it though? I like that it's kind of watered down, washed out blacks and reds though. It's got a very muted kind of overall look, and I think that looks really nice. Watercolor, yeah.
It never feels like it's in your face. Yeah. Look at how smart this color scheme is. It's sort of like, this just works.
But it gives it a mood. It gives it a feeling throughout.
Yep. Yeah.